So here's my question. They are gonna need a lot of guns, but they have unlimited bullets?
No. Well,
Then why did Trinity use 15 bullets to kill a guy that was 10 feet away?
I mean they do. I mean it's shown later them throwing away the guns, but uh,
She didn't need 15 bullets to kill the guy 10 feet away.
I know I didn't realize this until you said that, and then I thought about it. I'm like, huh, she does. But
Like,
then again, it's
it took
like
15 rounds to kill a guy that's 10 feet away.
I mean, you got me here.
What's poppin', y'all? Welcome to Post Finale. I am your host, Ankit Madhira. I'm an actor and a singer who has not seen a lot of films, so to make my friends happy and potentially provide a new perspective on some popular films, I am on a quest to change that. I am never on this quest alone, however. This week, I am joined by the editor of our shows here on Co-op Forge, Ant Servellon. Ant, hello. How you doing?
Hi, everybody. I'm doing well.
Hello.
Bit
Yay!
busy, but I'm doing well.
Hey, busy's good.
Yes,
Busy in a good way, busy in a bad way.
busy in a good way.
Busy in a good way. We
Yes.
love busy in a good way. Yeah. Nice. Wonderful. This is the end of The Matrix. We're talking about the whole ending of it. The last act, as you would call it, in a play of Shakespeare. This is Act 3. We're about to hit, the big bad battle, pretty much. Ant, you've seen this film before.
Yes,
What's your background on this film?
I
Why do you
remember
like
when
this film?
I remember when this film came out, and I didn't watch it. I remember being like a silent hit. Like my brother had it, and we were like, "All right, let's watch it." And we watched it, and we're like, "It's a pretty interesting movie." But I remember the sequels very well. I don't remember this one very well. Like I don't remember the beginning. The beginning's very forgetful.
Really?
Yes, I remember the end. Like I was watching the ending. I watched the whole movie through because it's a
I
great
appreciate
movie. It's a great movie either way. But watching it and seeing through it all, and I was like, man, I don't remember this whole beginning part. Like
Yeah.
I remember the end. The ending was really good. That's why we'll talk about it later.
Oh
But
yeah,
the ending
we
of the
really get
movie,
into it.
especially the whole reveal and the betrayal, it got super interesting. I'm like, man, I remember the other two. Granted, I feel
Okay,
like the last one
I
was
know
kind of.
nothing about them.
Oh well, we can add that to the list. You
Yeah,
know, to your credit though,
I mean,
I haven't seen the newest one.
so what I
Revelations.
have heard from previous guests, and you may have heard these comments as you were going through and editing. Listeners haven't heard as we are recording these episodes yet because they aren't out yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I have heard that it was originally meant to be a trilogy.
Yes.
And so I'm kind of judging it as great. This is a standalone film. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But also understanding, like, okay, they may have built the storyline for a trilogy
Right.
instead of a standalone film. It would have been one where it's like, hey, so I'm anticipating that we might have all of our questions not answered. Like some of
Right.
our questions might be unanswered at the end of this, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if when they went in and pitched for the movie, I was 2 when this movie came out. So
Right.
I don't remember it, but I do not know if they went in and they pitched it as a trilogy, and so it was planned to be a trilogy from the get-go, or if they kept it vague at the end. I don't know if they keep it vague or not, but like if they keep it vague at the end, I don't know if they did that because they wanted to make it a trilogy. So I don't know if it will work well as a standalone film, but I'm going with the sense of like I feel like they're gonna end it in a nice way with a little bit of a ribbon, because otherwise movies feel weird sometimes if you just end on a really big cliffhanger when it's the
Yes.
first one. I understand the second one ending on a really big cliffhanger leading into a third when you know that you're doing the 2 and the 3. But like the first one's hard to end on a cliffhanger a lot of times,
Right.
except for like The Lord of the Rings, which you can and be like, well, Sam and Frodo, or Sailing across a river.
Right. Okay. So
Anyway.
for me, let's go back into the time machine.
Ah, yes.
I was 6. No, it was 2000, right? Uh,
1999.
yeah, yeah. So I was 6. So I remember pretty much watching this movie a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but it felt like an open end movie. Then again, back then you got to go kind of back in the mindset of then. A lot of movies went off success. Nowadays, I feel
Fair.
like they're just like, oh, we're just gonna do 3, and it's like, okay, I guess we can't stop you as long as you want to keep funding it. Back then, it was a lot of on the success. If the movie did really well, you'll see a sequel. There was a lot of movies that have like open endings, and it's like, well, we never got a sequel, so we're just gonna wait around.
Right. And so this one, I don't know.
So
I don't know how they would have pitched it, but let's jump into it. Let's figure this out because I think both of us enjoyed this
yeah,
ending. It was fun.
yes, yes, it's
Where
really
we
good.
are in terms of my predictions right now, I did not expect everybody else to die. So I'm no longer as confident on the Trinity gonna die train as I was in
Hmm.
like episode 2. Because everybody else died in episode 3 of the show. So not super confident on the Trinity's dying part, but I still feel like it's gonna be Trinity gets hurt, Trinity doesn't make it. Something's gotta happen to Trinity. Trinity can't just like get through la di da, yay, everything's fancy.
Yeah,
I feel like something bad has to happen to Trinity. They're gonna save Morpheus because I'm pretty sure that Morpheus is in the other 2 films. So I'm pretty sure Morpheus don't die here. But I might be wrong. I might be wrong on this one. And I am on a theory that the Oracle is the big bad of the whole series.
man, you're in
Of the
for a roller
entire
coaster.
Matrix,
God,
the
can I have your
Oracle is the
bliss?
big bad.
Can I have your bliss? Like, I know how this whole thing plays out, so it's like, all right, cool. Like, but I was watching this and I was on the edge of my seat, and I was like, I know how this ends. Like, why am I like so involved? Like, I got sucked
See,
in immediately.
oh, that's beautiful. I love movies like that. That's like one of my favorite movies, Lagan. And it's like, I don't watch it very often, but whenever I
Hmm.
do go back and watch it, it is, I know how this movie ends, but I'm so invested by the
Oh
end of it.
yeah,
I'm like, let's go beat the British.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
But yes,
I love movies that like when you go back and you get to rewatch them, they pull you in. And I think
oh
this
yeah,
is one of those where if I go back and watch it, it's like I know how this ends, but the storytelling is so strong. But yeah,
yes.
I am pretty sure the Oracle is the big bad. I feel like Agent Smith is going to be defeated, but then he's going to be able to come back. But I feel like he's our big bad for this film, but I feel like the big bad for the whole trilogy is the Oracle.
Okay,
Is what I'm
so
thinking. I don't trust the Oracle. I don't know why. I just don't.
it's because she knows the future, bro.
Yeah,
And then she
I
talks in
don't
riddles, and I
I
hate
don't
it.
I don't know. I just don't trust her. There
Hmm.
for anyone listening, these episodes are obviously recorded on different days. And so there's been an entire week in between me recording the last couple episodes with Chris and recording this episode with Ant. So I apologize if I have forgotten a couple of my theories here of
No,
like why exactly I said the Oracle is the big bag because Chris sent me on a lot of questions.
I mean that's the point of the movie, right? Like the Matrix is supposed to that, and that's the joke where it's like, oh, we're in the Matrix, da da da, and it's all like, I get it, because I mean, technically, there's some things that we see, and it's like, oh, that was deja vu, or like, I've seen this before, or like, did that cat just disappear behind that pillar, and who knows, right?
Yes,
But
it's gone.
right, like that's the beauty of this movie, that we can all technically relate to it.
Oh yeah.
I like where your head is at, because I never thought that way as a kid, and now as an adult, I'm like, I've seen this movie, so I know how it plays out.
Fair enough. Let's jump into it. So we're back
Yes.
with Agent Smith, and he asks if he's ever stood out and stared at its beauty, its genius. Billions of people living out their lives obliviously. He's looking out at the world. We're in the simulation at this point. We
Mhm.
see a lot of dental tools, and I was like, "Ooh, torture devices!" And then Smith continues, did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world where no one suffered? where everyone would be happy. Morpheus is, we see, handcuffed to a chair and he's trying to shake free. He's not succeeding because, like, he in pain.
Hmm.
And Smith continues, it was a disaster. No one would accept the program. Entire crops were lost. Some believe that we, the AI is what he's talking about, lacked the tech to describe a human's perfect world. But Smith believes that a species of humans define reality through misery and suffering. As this entire monologue is happening, we see a syringe start to get filled, and I'm like, they're gonna drug Morpheus to give up the Zion codes.
Truth
And
serum.
then, yeah, truth serum. I was like, Veritaserum? Is he gonna know right away? A perfect world your primitive cerebrum kept trying to wake up from, which is why the Matrix was redefined to this peak of your civilization. They inject Morpheus with the Veritaserum. Beautiful, lovely. I've just assumed that this is what it is now.
Hmm.
They now have this magical shoot saying potion. He says that your civilization, because as soon as we started thinking for you, it really became our civilization, which is all this is really about. It's all about evolution, which is really terrifying when you think of it, because we're kind of living it.
Right. Which brings the meme to life almost.
Yeah,
Mm.
we. I said this a lot in the last couple episodes. We're kind of at the starting stages of this potentially happening.
Right.
Like, we're starting with AI. Don't get me wrong, I use it. I love it. It's very helpful in aspects, but there's got to be rules around it. And right now, there aren't many rules around it. And I think, things will get better, but like we got to make sure that we have rules around the AI and what it can and cannot do.
I mean, I feel like we're on another like, what's the movie called? Oh, Terminator. I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
Oh, I've seen the first one.
Mm. Okay, good.
I don't know
So
what happens in the second one. I've heard the second one's better.
second one's the better of the two of the three or whatever they're on. They're on like
I did
fucking.
hear don't watch the third.
No, just watch first and second one. That's it. Leave it alone after that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's a very of that mindset because that was a 2000s mindset because we had Y2K, we had the planes are gonna fall out of the sky and the computers are gonna take over and this and that. So we had that very mindset. So I mean, movies kind of played into that, right? We had Terminator in the 90s, and I remember when T2 came out, and then I remember when this movie came out, especially with its sequels. It became like, you know what, let's play into that, and it wasn't they didn't tiptoe around it. They were like, yeah, AI is going to eventually take over, and it played into a lot of that fear.
Hmm.
Granted, as a kid, I don't know why this movie kind of scared me a little bit. Maybe
I
it
can
was
get it.
maybe it was the robots, but I mean, I still loved it for the action, so that's what kept me
It was really
watching.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
On top of that, the actor who played Smith, his name is
I'm allowed to look
not
it up now so I can tell you
okay.
because I
So I'll keep
finished the
going.
movie.
Oh, I could.
Hugo
Well,
Weaving.
yes. So the actor who played Smith plays perfectly. Plus, the monologue fits perfectly. Where it's like, yeah, if the world was perfect, we would question it. Like, if
Yeah.
everything in your life went off flawless, what would you do? And it's all like, well, my life,
Question it.
yeah, I would question it. Why is everything going perfectly?
It's like, this is weird. Shouldn't I struggle a bit?
Yes.
Yeah. Smith says that you had your time. Your future is our world. Your future is our time. Just then, another suit enters, and he says that there could be a problem. And I'm assuming that what they're about to learn is that Cypher is dead, and Neo and Trinity escaped, and yada, yada, yada. Now, over with the others, Tank is explaining that they are breaking into his mind. It's like cracking a computer, it just takes time. So it's not quite Veritaserum. They have a slow time potion. Now, it takes time. Time varies based on the mind, but it will crack. That is inevitable. And his alpha patterns will change from this to this. He hits a button, and the waves on the screen go backwards. That's what I understood.
Mhm.
Just, cool. Okay. Uh, when his mind is cracked, Morpheus will tell them anything that they want to know. And we learn that the leader of every ship is given the Zion mainframe codes. Sorry. we learned that the leaders of every ship is given the codes of the Zion's mainframe computer. So if the agents are able to crack Morpheus, then they can get into Zion's mainframe and destroy everything. We also learn in this entire speech that there are more ships, there are more rebels. So I'm gonna take a wild guess here. I don't feel like it's that wild, but my guess here is that Neo and Trinity are gonna go in to save Morpheus, but it's just gonna be the two of them. Why would you not call the other ships for support?
I believe it was because if they send communications out, like the Sentinels will find where they're at. Like
That is never explained.
that is never explained in the first one. Yes. So all this part of the movie is the most confusing part for me, which
Like,
makes me
why can you
wonder.
not just send a memo and be like, meet in Chicago?
Right.
Like,
Okay.
help in
So
Chicago.
I'm gonna spoil a little bit of the second one for you. So because
Ow!
I'm my
You
my well
monster.
maybe it might get you guys to watch it. Who knows?
It's on the list. It's
Yeah,
replacing this one on the list.
yeah. You have like 30 other ones though, so hopefully it puts it higher on the list. But so Zion is never explained to you, correct?
I understand that Zion is the last human city
Okay.
left, and it is deep, deep, deep underground. And that Tank and his brother came from there. Tank and Dozer came from Zion. They are purely human. They are not part of the simulation at any point. And that, there are many people in Zion, and Zion is a beautiful place. That's what I know about Zion.
Okay. So again, last human stronghold, last time. So of course we understand there's more rebels. Now, my understanding was to the movie was that with the Sentinels hunting everybody, because technically humans are batteries, which is explained in this one.
Right. Which is
It
dumb, but like whatever.
yeah. Well, I mean, they have to have a premise, right? Like, why are we all in captivities? Why can we plug into the matrix in and out? Why can
Yeah,
we
yeah.
learn super quick and this and that? And of course, human is to we must rebel. All right, cool. But so this part I feel like this part kind of sets up a second one where it's like, yeah, there's more of us, and it's finally revealed, yeah, there's a bunch of us, like, you know. But my thing is like, we don't want to send messages out because it might attract sentinels to us, and a bit later you'll see why. Like their only countermeasure kind of leaves them defenseless.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'll take
So
that. I don't like it. I think humans and the rebels get a better communication system. Figure
yeah,
it out. Like, come
let's
on.
let
You guys
let's
have so
attach,
much technology. You can't figure out how to send an SMS and be like,
right?
"Hey bud, I need some backup." Like, seriously? Just figure it out, because the way the movie's going to end is the two of them are going to go in and they're going to save Morpheus. Lovely. There's probably going to be something else in there that I'm missing. But at the end of the day, call backup. Like, go in with backup next time. Anyway, Tank tells Trinity that Zion is more important than any of them, even Morpheus. Tank says that they have to pull the plug. Trinity does not look happy with this choice, and Tank says that they don't have a choice. And the choice is that I'm assuming is that, the choice is going to give us a chance to save him. You're on this end. We can't get to him. And it's just like, all right, cool. Tank continues saying, you pulled the plug. I feel like there's a few ways that this is going to play out. And either the choice is going to be give us a chance to save him and go back in and save him, right? You're on this end, we can't get to him. And then you pull the plug. And so we're just going to kill Morpheus, all right? Or the mind cracks and we get to him and then they pull the plug because they're not going to be able to get to him in time. I
Mm-hmm.
think that they're going to save him, but there are a couple of options where it's like, hey, this is how we're going to do it. I feel like this is what they're going to say is like, give us a chance. And then if the moment his mind cracks, pull the plug is
Right.
kind of going to be the decision here of like,
Well,
give us a chance. If his mind cracks, pull the plug immediately.
this in this turn, this is when Neo gives his little speech, right?
Yeah, right after
Right.
this.
Okay. So
Just after this. So,
so yes. So I mean, granted, you look at the movie, you still have like what 30 minutes left of the
yeah,
movie.
about.
Yeah. So it's like, of course, there has to be something. It can't just end on that, and then magic cliffhanger. No, 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 no.
Whee!
Yeah,
Yeah, no, 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 no. Now, meanwhile, Morpheus is struggling in pain because, truth serum. And Smith says that he never sent a human to do a machine's job. Well, he never should have sent a human to do a machine's job. He's talking about Cypher. And
Hmm.
I was like, well, Smith has a point. If Cypher didn't spend so long monologuing, he probably would have succeeded. All
I
he had to
mean,
do was walk up and pull plugs.
and honestly, like to cut this movie super short, if Cypher would have checked if Tank was still alive,
Yeah.
it's
Maybe hit him twice.
yeah, like double tap, check,
Uh,
have the only person that can stop him. Granted, that was a big twist too, because you literally thought everyone's gonna die, and then here comes Tank to save the day.
Look, I didn't think everyone was gonna die, but I was disappointed that Cypher was the villain and like the traitor because I was like, he's gonna be a red herring, and then literally the next scene, I was like, he is not a red herring. He just is the traitor. I was wrong immediately. Now,
I mean that was the cool part though. Like you never expected your own team to betray you, which was
it was fun.
new.
Oh no, I knew that there was a betrayer. Like I wasn't
Yeah, yeah,
surprised that there was a snitch. I just I thought Cypher was gonna be a red herring, and it was gonna be somebody else, and then it was just Cypher immediately, and I was like, oh okay.
yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't like his motives that I just want to be plugged back in and believe all this is fake, this and that. Like,
I
but then
get
again,
it. I
I
get it.
guess CC, this is the difference then. So me, I'm a fighter, so I would fight for my rights and this and that.
Oh, I never said that I agree. I just said that I
No,
get it.
I mean I get it too, but I'm just saying like I would fight for my rights. But versus, I mean, there are people like that who just want to be bliss, like this podcast.
Right. And it's beautiful being bliss. I legitimately don't know what's going on, and it's so satisfying. I'm just like, I don't know, but we'll figure it out.
Right.
So the suits realize that the others will pull the plug or they are dead. In any case, they will continue as planned. And then they say deploy the sentinels. Now, Tank tells Morpheus that he was more of a leader, more of a father to any of them than he will ever know. We will miss you. Just as Tank is about to pull the plug, Neo says stop. He doesn't believe this is happening. And Tank just turns and is like, it has to be done. Like, believe it. I don't know what you want, Neo. Believe it. Neo says that it can't be a coincidence. Neo reveals what the Oracle told him, that he will have to make a choice. Trinity asks, what is this choice? Neo walks away because that's always the right answer. When someone asks you a question, just walk away. And says that he is going in. Trinity says, no, there is no way you're doing that. Morpheus sacrificed himself to save you so we could get you out. There is no way you're going back in. Neo says that Morpheus only did it because he believes that Neo is something he is not. And I just wrote down, I'm still pretty convinced that Neo is the one, and the Oracle is actually the big bad of the entire franchise. And she told Neo this in reverse psychology because he has to accept that he is the one, not be told he is the one. He needs to learn to accept it himself, embrace those powers. It's his coming of age story. This is what movie one is. It is, hi, this is how he gets all his powers.
Right. Well, I mean, pretty much it is to set up so you got to understand, we're in the dark here, right? All of
Oh
us are
yeah.
at this point in the movie. We still don't believe that. Is he really the one? Could there be another one? Yeah, we kind of look at it as that.
I don't know. That child that was messing with the spoons when he went to go see the Oracle, he was pretty badass. Pretty badass kid there. That could be the
Right.
one right there. Yeah. Now, Neo reveals that he's not the one and that he's just another guy. The Oracle said so too. Trinity says that it can't be true. Neo asks why, and she doesn't have a good answer. And I'm like, Trinity, is it because you love him? Like, I don't know. I feel I know that Trinity loves him,
It,
right? There's no way around that. Trinity loves this guy. I don't know why she's so hesitant to say it, but also saying I love you can be difficult.
I mean, that's kind of a truth bomb to drop, right? Like, you can't just be like, well, the Oracle said I'm supposed to fall in love with you, and I fell in love with you, so that makes you the one magically,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
On top of that,
Can't quite say
I
that.
right. I love the hesitation because it gives you
It's so
that
good.
yeah, the hesitation in it gives you that disbelief that, oh, maybe he's not the one, and they're just gonna
Maybe
save
he's
him on.
not.
Yeah, like maybe he's not. Like, we're kind of in the dark on this, which again, I was like, rewatching this, I loved it. I was like, man, I'm on the edge of my seat, even though I know what happens. Like,
That's so fair.
I'm so hooked. Like,
That's
and it's
so
back.
fair.
Because normally, like, when I rewatch it, like, I watch it on the side. I'm like, oh, I already seen this movie, so I'm just kind of rewatching as a cab. No, this one I was like, my phone was down. I was completely on the edge of my seat. Like, people were texting me. I'm like, hold on, I need to finish this movie. Like,
Yeah, that's completely valid. Now, Tank says that this is loco, and I love that he just goes loco.
mm-hmm.
And Morph is in a military, not Morph. Morpheus is in a military controlled building. Even if he somehow got inside, those are agents, three of them. And I was like, okay, three total agents. That's what you're worried about. I mean, don't get me wrong. The agents are really, really terrifying. And like, you do
Yes.
not want to deal with these agents. But like, there are only three, buddy.
I
Tank
mean,
wants
that's
Morpheus
established through the
back.
whole movie, though, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
they're
I think
scared. Like,
they're terrifying. Like three is
yes,
enough. One is
like,
enough to terrify
yeah, yeah.
you.
They're like, that's certain death. If you face one, it's over. Like, your only option is to run.
Yeah. Tank wants Morpheus back, but what Neo is talking about is suicide. I appreciate that someone has a brain in this scene.
Oh yes,
Like, I appreciate that it isn't just we're gonna go save him. All right, let's do our best. Like, and they're all on board. I appreciate that there's this entire dialogue of like, no, like we can't go save him, and it's like, no, we have to go. Like, I love the back and forth of this,
right.
because it just makes it feel more authentic. It makes it feel like, yeah, this is a crew that they probably all want to save him, but they also understand the risks of saving him. So
Yeah, I
yeah, they're
mean,
gonna have a
it
discussion about it.
it puts it in an adult mindset where it's like, yeah, you always have that one person that's like, no, this is a bad idea. Like, we shouldn't do this at all. And it's like, but we have
Just
to. And it's all like, we can't do this because you said so. So we have to we have to it gives that rational thought, right? Like, gives you that, oh, maybe we should think this plan out and just, do we risk losing the lives of many for the lives of one?
do
Do we
we?
do
Do we not?
that?
Is it
Yeah,
worth it?
yeah,
Is it not?
yeah. And plot wise, I mean, it kind of, it gives that nice, like, doubt, that self doubt to the audience, almost like, where you feel Tank, like, bro, like, yeah, for real, like, let's, you know, you get that half of the audience are like, yeah, let's just kill Morpheus, like, and see where it goes from there.
We'll find out. Now, Neo says that he isn't. He can't explain why it isn't. Morpheus believed something and he was ready to give up his life for what he believed. That's why he has to go, because he believes in something. Trinity asks what? Neo looks baffled, like he didn't expect anyone to ask. Like, Neo, you can't just say, I believe in something, and then not have an answer. But Neo does have an answer, and he believes that he can bring him back. Neo gets moving, and Trinity goes to join him. Neo says no, and Trinity turns as and says, "Let me tell you what I believe," and then goes into this and just goes, "I believe Morpheus means more to me than he does to you. I believe if you are really serious about saving him, you are going to need my help. And since I am the ranking officer on this ship, if you don't like it, I believe you can go to hell because you aren't going anywhere else. Tank, load us up." Beautiful, love it. Let's go. The last 30 minutes of this film are all just going to be action, aren't they?
Yes.
All right,
So
cool.
I put that disclaimer, right, where it's like, hey, we'll explain the action as much as we can, but we're here for the plot.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That was the beginning of the first episode of The
Yes.
Matrix. It's like,
So
hi, disclaimer. I will do my best.
yes, but I love this scene because you got everyone's input. You got Neo's input where he's like, I don't believe I'm the one, but I'm sorry, I believe in Morpheus, who believes in me. So okay, so cool. Tank, who's rational, who's like, nah, we shouldn't do this. Like, this is a bad idea.
But
And
also at the same side of like, I like the idea, but like this is why it's a bad idea.
yeah, exactly. Like he wants to save Morpheus too, but he's thinking more rationally. Where it's like,
Yeah.
we should save Morpheus, but if we fail, we're all screwed.
Consequences are
Yes.
larger.
So it sets the stakes of the whole thing, and Trinity being like, all right, cool. I feed what you're, I smell what you're stepping in, so I'm gonna, like, and I believe in Morpheus too, so that makes me believe in you. So I'm gonna go in with you.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't like it, then you can suck it.
Totally. Now we're back with the suits, and Smith wants to share a revelation he has had. Morpheus is struggling to hang on. Great. The revelation, meanwhile, that came to Smith as he was trying to classify the human species. He realized that humans aren't actually mammals. Every mammal on this planet instinctively develops a natural equilibrium with the surrounding environment, but you humans do not. You move to an area and you multiply and multiply and multiply until every natural resource is consumed. The only way to survive is to spread to another area. Smith continues and he leans in and says that there is another organism on this planet that follows the same pattern. And I just go, he's going to call us a parasite, isn't he? He's going to call humans a parasite. And then he says, a virus. I was close. I feel like I wasn't too far off.
You weren't. You just had to think computer terms, because
Yeah.
that's the theme of the movie. They all think computer terms, like, oh, they're hacking his brain. No, they're interrogating him, and they're gonna crack his mind. Like they're gonna make him crack.
Yeah.
like
I went animal terms, not
right.
not computer terms.
Which is
But
fair
yeah,
because I mean he brings up the animal thing in it, which is like, yeah, it's one of those movies that make you think, like, huh, maybe Smith is right,
mm,
or maybe
he's
it's just
not.
the movie.
Nah, but here's the thing. He ain't wrong.
No, he's not wrong. That's the beauty of it. This movie came out in 1999. I loved it. I was like, wow, I'm rewatching it, and there's so many similarities that we have now. Like maybe he's not wrong, but
Yeah, he's incredibly accurate.
yeah, exactly.
So
It's crazy. It's a little
yeah.
creepy.
Anyway, Neo is donning what I assume is the iconic black outfit. I've seen this outfit. It's on the poster. Like I've seen it before. I'm assuming this is it. It's like all black, long black trench coat. Woohoo!
Mhm.
They need a lot of guns. Ah, look, guns. And then Trinity says nobody has ever done anything like this. Neo says that that is why it is going to work. Smith asks why the serum isn't working, and the agent who has a smart mouth says that he is going to die soon. Perhaps we're asking the wrong questions. And Smith didn't kill the suit, which I was surprised about, but tells the others to leave him alone, and Tank tries to comfort Morpheus's body, which is dripping in sweat now, and struggling over on the ship as well. Smith then sits and takes off his glasses and earpiece, and I'm like, ooh, it's about to go down. And he says that he is going to be honest with Morpheus. What he tells him is that he hates this place. He feels like it is a zoo, it is a prison, and this is not what and this is not where he wants to stay anymore. It's the smell of the place. He feels saturated by it. He can taste the skin of humans every time. And every time he does this, he has a fear that somehow he is going to be infected by it. It is repulsive. Ooh, really leaning into I am an evil person who doesn't like humans. Well, evil entity that doesn't like humans.
I mean, it kind of sucks in the thing where it's like maybe he is getting assimilated to the world,
Yeah,
and
and it also
he.
like it makes sense that maybe he wants a change, right?
Mhm.
He's been assigned this task. We don't know how long he's been in this role. We don't know how long he has been Agent Smith
Right.
and running around as an agent fighting these rebels. Maybe he
Mhm.
just needs a break. Maybe he's like,
Right.
"Hey, I'm done with this. I don't want to be in this body anymore. I want to go do something different."
Which is
Like
weird because I mean he's a machine, but maybe
he's a
after.
machine, but he's an AI machine that can think
Yeah,
for
yeah.
itself.
Right. Exactly. So that also plays into that, which is a bit weird talking about now. But yeah, hearing that, and it's like maybe he is assimilating to them, but he hates it. He's hating
Yeah.
what he's becoming.
Hmm. For sure. He says that he must get out of here. He must be freed. And the mind is the key. Once Zion is destroyed, there is no need for me to be here. He
Mhm.
needs to get the codes into Zion, and Morpheus is going to tell him, or die. Morpheus, meanwhile, groaning, not looking good. Back with Neo and Trinity. We're headed through security at the government building. He is asked to remove any metallic items. Neo opens his coat, reveals a lot of guns. The poor guard says, "Holy," and then gets flung across the room by guard. Neo then kills the other guards. One guard lives, calls for backup. Trinity walks in and kills him. So here's my question. They are gonna need a lot of guns, but they have unlimited bullets?
No. Well,
Then why did Trinity use 15 bullets to kill a guy that was 10 feet away?
I mean I mean it's shown later them throwing away the guns, but
She didn't need 15 bullets to kill the guy 10 feet away.
I know I didn't realize this until you said that, and I thought about it. I'm like, huh, she does. But
Like,
then again, it's
it took
like,
15 rounds to kill a guy that's 10 feet away.
I mean, you got me here. Like, I
I've
just thought,
shot
oh
guns
yeah,
at driving. I've shot guns at ranges before because I grew up in Boy Scouts. Like, I've shot
right.
rifles, I've shot shotguns. Like, no! Hitting something 10 feet away is not that difficult.
It's hard to shoot a
And if
gun,
you're
man. Come on.
someone as competent with weaponry as Trinity, I'm assuming, is based on everything we have seen, she doesn't need 15 bullets to kill a guy that's 10 feet away. What are we doing? It reminds me of the John Mulaney joke that bullets were like free back in the 20s and 30s, and they just walk into a bank robbery and be like, "Ooh, tell them that it was this person," and then they'd like shoot their name into the wall. Like, what? Like, were bullets free back then? Like, are bullets free now? What is going on here?
I'm not gonna lie, you got me on this one. like,
Yes.
like, I mean, I didn't think about it until you said, yeah, she did shoot like a good round. I mean, maybe she wanted to make sure he was dead, but yeah, he was 10 feet away. Like,
That still doesn't require 15 bullets from 10 feet away.
yeah. Especially because I've gone shooting before. You know, my dad owns guns, so I've shot in a Glock, I've shot in a shotgun, I shot in an assault rifle. So I do feel you.
Yeah, like I've shot things before on driving ranges. I've never
Yeah,
taken
yes,
ever a
yes.
gun out of a driving range. Like I just want that to be clear. Like
Yeah. Same
yeah,
here.
like never outside of a driving range. Everything is safety. But it's like not driving range, shooting range. That's what it's called.
Shooting
For
range,
some reason, I
yes.
keep using the golf term. But like
Hmm.
yeah, like you don't. 10 feet is not that far.
Yeah, that's really not. But I mean, maybe it's
10
to
feet
play to
is
the.
just under two of me.
I mean, then again, it's like maybe it's to play to the dramatic flair. I mean, they do the epic pose at the end too, and everything for the camera.
Look. It looks really cool. Don't get me wrong on the looks of it. It looks so badass. But like, huh?
I mean, and then again, too, on top of that, I think
Like I
the
get we're in a
music.
simulation.
Yeah. No, I get you. But for me, like the music really hits in this scene.
The music in this scene is incredible. I'm going to
Yes.
say this now and I'm glad you brought it up because I have a note about it later, but we can talk about it now. It
Yeah.
is so good. I can't describe the music in this scene. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't want to watch the entire film, I do highly recommend at least going on YouTube, look up this scene. Just look up, I don't know, the Matrix fight scene. It'll probably come up. It'll be
Okay.
one of the first ones that comes up. I don't know exactly what to look up, but it's their lobby fight scene. The music fits so well.
I was waiting for this because this scene has been referenced in so many video games.
Oh, has it?
Yes, actually, it really has. And the major one, if you ever have a couple minutes to yourself, hopefully, if we have any video game audience in here, Look up Conquer's Bad Fur Day Matrix reference. And they
Okay.
literally play this scene out shot for shot. At least the beginning.
Nice.
Granted, it's a squirrel and
Oh,
weasels, but
Ant
it's
Froze.
fucking great. I gotta bleep myself out on that one, but that is great. I remember as a kid because I watched The Matrix and I played that game later in my life, and I was like, "Wow, they're ripping off The Matrix. This is great." Like,
That was beautiful. I love that. That is
yes,
fantastic.
yes, but
Now,
that is referenced in a lot of games.
okay. I'm still annoyed by the bullets, but we'll move past it. Otherwise, we're gonna be
Hmm.
here all day. Now, Neo and
Yeah,
Trinity get prepped, and hey, look, backup shows up. Now, Neo and Trinity run in opposite directions. They both are missed by these bullets. I'm not gonna keep saying that they keep getting missed. Assume no bullets hit them until I tell you otherwise, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Trinity does a wall run and beats up a guy as he is reloading his gun. Imbecile. Why don't you have unlimited bullets like Trinity? Now, the SWAT is firing away, trying to hit them. Instead, they are hitting pillars, and they don't stop and have no regard for the structural integrity of the building as they are blasting the columns to bits that are holding up the rest of the building. Like, these are structural beams in the middle of your A-frame.
right. I mean, maybe they thought, okay, this is my
And
only
you're
gripe.
blowing
This
them to bits.
this is my only like gripe about this scene. You don't have a clear shot stop shooting.
Right?
Like you're not gonna shoot through a pillar, or
No, no,
like
no, they are. They're gonna take down this
yeah,
entire building.
yeah. You're gonna run out of bullets before you're
No,
able
no,
to
no.
shoot.
They got unlimited bullets. Remember?
That's my only gripe. It's like even me, like as a kid, it's like oh, this fight scene is like maybe 5 minutes, but it's so good. But I'm just like we're watching it now, and I'm like, why don't you just stop shooting? Like, why are we trying to destroy the whole building? You know, to get through to them. And I'm like, what this building's probably made of. Like, your bullets will never get through that. But
I don't know. Those bullets did a really good job of getting through that.
right?
I don't know what these bullets are made out of, but I think that they might have been made of vibranium. And surprise, surprise, we're actually in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now,
Right.
Neo steps out. We see a cool shot of a bullet shell falling to the ground and like multiple bullet shells as he shoots. It's just a really cool shot. We keep coming back to this shot. I think it's just a really well done shot. Every single time we see it, it's just a
Mhm.
really fun shot that we throw in. Trinity steals one of the SWAT guy's guns and then he kills him and then she kills him with it and others. Neo does a cartwheel and picks up a SWAT gun and shoots people with a rifle one-handed while doing an aerial. The columns still getting blown to bits. There seems to be only a few guys left. Neo shoots one of them and kicks the other one and knocks him out. Don't know why I didn't shoot that one. Trinity goes back, grabs the bag, and then they head up the elevator. And we see a destroyed lobby. My favorite thing, the elevator doors close, and then just like one of the columns just crumbles even more.
I always love this scene because I remember watching it on TV, and that's always where the commercial break would be. Like you'll see the building crumble, and then be like commercials. Like,
I love
so
that.
yes, I remember watching this on TV, so I was like, that's. It was funny to me because, granted, I don't know if you had this issue. I couldn't find anywhere that was streaming this movie, and
Netflix UK.
oh, see, I didn't think of that. I didn't think of
So I
VPN.
VPN'd.
Sponsored by. Oh, I'm just kidding.
I wish.
But
Hey, NordVPN, sponsor us.
right, but
I use you a lot.
right. Okay, so my thing is, I had to watch it. I think it was on Tubu or Freebie or one of those two weird random
Oh yeah,
sites.
sure.
Yeah, I lost my stuff because literally that scene happened, and then it cut to an ad break for me, and I felt like I was a kid. Yeah, I was like, "Am I watching TV again? Like, what is happening?"
Ooh. Yeah, I watched it with the VPN. Now,
Yeah. Okay.
this is not, in fact, where we're going to take our intermission. Don't worry, that's coming soon. Now, the other agents enter and ask Smith what he was doing. Smith doesn't know that Neo and Trinity are here. Inside the bag, it looks like they have a bomb. Neo pulls it out and it hits the emergency brake on the elevator. The suits guess correctly that they are trying to save him. Morpheus seems to clock what is going on. He seems to start coming back to. Neo and Trinity cling to the top of the elevator. Neo shoots the elevator. It explodes, causing a massive explosion of the lobby and turns on all the sprinklers. I love that. How does the structural integrity of a building survive when the entire lobby gets blown to bits, but like the 20th floor is okay?
I'm not an architect, you know, but
Um, this feels like the building shouldn't be standing anymore.
right, right, like it should start collapsing. But
Yeah.
then again, I like I said, I think I'm not an architect, so I really don't know. But
If there are any architects or structural engineers out there that are listening to this show, please reach out and let me know if I am right in my assumption that this building should have collapsed after this explosion. Or am I missing something of, no, this is actually why the building doesn't collapse?
yeah. But I do love the dramatic flair of it, like big explosion, action scene, big explosion. Especially like it's also a wonder. I'm like, are they gonna get to Morpheus in time? Are they going to make it? Like, are they gonna fail somehow miraculously?
Yeah. No, I'm enjoying this action scene and all of it. Like, I am loving it. I'm just
Your
baffled by a few things here and
so
there.
your knowledge kicks in. This is what I like about it. You're the type of person, if we're sitting and watching a movie, you'd be like, that's not supposed to happen. I'm like, bro, it's a movie, just watch it. like, don't question it. Stop questioning it. You're making holes in it.
The whole point of the show is to provide a hole. I mean, like, look, don't get me wrong. This is a movie that if I watch it again, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, like, let's go, let's have some fun with it, right? The first time I'm watching it, like, these are the thoughts that come up, and
Right. And it's fair. It's totally logical. I mean, I
like,
used to think like that as a kid too. And it
yeah.
annoyed because I have brothers, but it annoyed my brothers to no end. Where it's like, stop asking questions, and it's like, okay, like,
See, there are multiple times, like even here, I'm like, should this not happen? Like, fine, it didn't happen. It's a movie. We can move on. Like, it's okay. Like it,
yeah.
but like in reality, should this not happen? Like, it's the same thing with the bullets, right? It's like, yeah, they have unlimited bullets. I'll live with this, but it annoys me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get over it. I'm not gonna be
Right,
happy about it, but I'll still watch the movie.
right.
Anyway, we're on the roof. People are being shot. The pilot becomes an agent. That's all you really need to know. Neo turns and shoots, but the agent avoids all the bullets because he's fast. Neo yells for Trinity to help. The agent shoots at Neo, and we have the iconic backbend dodging bullet scene. I don't know how to describe that any better.
That's
Neo
pretty good.
gets hit. Yeah, Neo gets hit
Slow
though.
motion, slow motion.
Yeah, lots of slow motion. Neo gets hit, and so I was like, oh, he didn't actually dodge them. Why did I assume that he dodges them in this scene?
It's because you never see the clips. So like
I
we're known to that. Like that was a thing in the 2000s where slow matrix movement. Like I dodged all the bullets,
Yeah.
and in a sense, I mean, he did get grazed, but he didn't get shot. But then
No,
again,
he didn't get shot, but he did
yeah,
get hit.
yes. But
Anyway.
I love it because it shows the glimpses. Like maybe he is
Oh,
the one or he's starting to realize it, but doesn't realize it. Because
yeah. I mean, look, Chris pointed it out, I think in the last episode, where he said Neo is an anagram for one. And I beat myself up for a solid 30 seconds that I wasn't able to get that one. Because that's not even a hard one. You just got to move
no,
the O.
yeah, right,
Now,
right. But
oh,
I'm gonna gripe on the scene because I feel like this is an important scene, especially now rewatching it.
mm,
Is that because I know how it ends? So, but this is the first time you see a glimpse of the Oracle being wrong, kind of almost, right?
and that's why I think that she's the big bad. I don't trust her. I don't like her.
We definitely need to run through the other two movies so I can get your full.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very valid. I am pretty sure the Oracle is evil. I don't think we're gonna get that answer this movie. It doesn't feel like that, but like the Oracle is evil. I'm gonna die on this hill. The Oracle is evil. Now, anyway, I do think like this scene is really cool. I think what happens right after this is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The agent comes up and calls Neo only human, and then Trinity sticks a gun in his head and says, "Dodge this." Trinity shoots the agent in the head. The body glitches, goes back to the pilot, and so I was just like, so the agent isn't dead, just the poor pilot.
Yeah, so the agent
Like, that
isn't.
sucks.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first glimpse of the agent's powers, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a sense of before, up to this point, you think there's only like the 3 agents, right? But then again, you
And this
gotta.
is where what they explained in the past that the agent can become anyone, because they were explaining it to Neo. This is the first time that we're seeing it.
Yes, exactly. So you gotta understand this is the best way someone put it to me, especially after watching the movie. The humans are viruses, the agent is an antivirus.
Ooh, okay.
So the agent needs to do whatever it can to control the virus, but sometimes the virus does win. So that's why the agent is allowed to jump from body to body and kind of like, you got to understand the whole thing is a simulation. So technically, it needs to do whatever it can to control the situation.
Oh yeah. Now Trinity then helps Neo up, asks how he did it, and he moved like the agents. She has never seen anyone move that fast. And I like Neo here. He goes, "Wasn't fast enough." And it's like that cool guy Keanu Reeves line. I love it. It's
Right.
fantastic. Like, I wasn't fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so good. Trinity, meanwhile, can't fly the helicopter yet. She calls Tank and says that she needs a pilot program for a B-212 helicopter. Hey, look, she can fly now. So the helicopter flies down in front of the window where they are keeping Morpheus. And Neo aims a Gatling gun at them. And then I was like, okay, but if he shoots, he could kill Morpheus. He shoots. Sure, don't understand this logic, but okay, here we go. He's shooting everything in the room, but not Morpheus. He hits Agent Smith at one point. I'm guessing he hits another one. The agents then morph into other people that are out in the hall, so then they can come back in. Morpheus feels the power of the water and then breaks free of his restraints. He starts running to the helicopter, but Agent Smith manages to shoot him in the leg. Neo realizes that he is not going to make it, so he jumps out of the helicopter and grabs onto Morpheus. Trinity starts to fly away, but Agent Smith, using only 2 bullets, because Agent Smith understands the value of a bullet, hits the helicopter twice, causing it to malfunction. Trinity does her best to keep them up. She gets them over to a building where she's able to drop off Morpheus and Neo. Then Trinity starts to go down in the helicopter, but Neo is still strapped in, so he's being dragged across the building. Trinity then goes to the cord that's holding Neo into the helicopter, that's strapping him in. She shoots it free. Trinity jumps out of the plane just in time while holding onto the rope. Neo braces himself on the edge of the building to hold on to her. The helicopter smashes into a building. The building ripples like water and then explodes. Trinity slams into the building that Neo is standing on top of, and Tank says that he knew it. He's the one. And I wrote in big bold letters, see, reverse psychology bullshit. Still think the Oracle is the big bad. That was a lot.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I thought I would just get through all that and then we can discuss.
You're good. You're good. So we'll start from the beginning. I have 2 points. So my 2 points is, one, Morpheus didn't release himself because he knew if he did break the chains, and it's like, then what?
Yeah.
Okay.
He wasn't gonna get anywhere.
Yeah.
Now he has an escape. So like fair enough.
Yeah. So that's my big point where it's like, yeah, but my only gripe about this scene is that what takes him so long to realize that, oh, this is for me.
Like, what do you mean the Morpheus?
Yeah. You know how Neo's like, come on, move, like, get up.
It takes like a solid 30 seconds of shooting the gun to Morpheus to realize I need to go.
Yeah. Exactly.
I would like to point out the movie magic. Actually, no, it's not movie magic. What am I talking about? Neo is the one. Neo has the skill of not hitting Morpheus if he does not want to hit Morpheus. I am so sorry. I have misspoken. It's movie magic. Anyway, so Neo continues on saying that he saved Trinity, and then as they are just about to kiss, or it feels like they are about to kiss, Morpheus comes in as the wonderful wingman and just goes, "Do you believe me now, Trinity?" And I'm like, "Go away." I'm like, "They're about to make out. Go away." He just saved her from a falling helicopter. If there's ever a time to get the girl, it's now. Morpheus, go away. I know that we just went through all of this to save you. Wait 10 seconds.
Not wrong.
Yeah. Neo, meanwhile, tells Morpheus that the Oracle told him exactly what he needed to know. And, sorry, Neo then tries to tell Morpheus what the Oracle told him. Morpheus is adamant that she told him exactly what he needed to hear, and that is all. Sooner or later, Neo will learn the difference between knowing the path and walking the path. And that is where we're going to take our intermission on this slightly longer episode. But I hope you all are enjoying it. We're going to take a quick intermission. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Post Finale as we go through the Matrix movie. If you are enjoying this episode, please leave a like, a comment, a review, a rating, subscribe, follow us. It really does help out whatever platform you are listening on, or if you are on YouTube and you are watching us on YouTube. It really does help us out a lot. And thank you all to everyone who has already done that. Thank you to anyone who will do that in the future. If you want to gain access to some bonus content, you can do so. Head over to patreon.com/coopforge. So that's patreon.com/CO_OPFORGE. Sign up for any of the tiers there, and you get different bonus content. We're changing how some of the content looks on there, but you get content not just for this show, but you also get content for Flip the Scripts, which is our other show here with Co-op Forge. So you get content for all of that, bonus content available there, and you get a shout out on both of our shows. And thank you all so much for supporting. If you are, and if you are not able to support in a monetary way, but you still want to support the show in a non-monetary way, that is fantastic. Please tell a friend about the show. Reach out and be like, hey, there's this actor and singer who hasn't seen a lot of films, and so he's watching films for the first time and guessing what's going on, and it's a fun time overall. Go check it out. It really does help us out a lot. Be sure follow us on social media at Co-op Forge, CO_OPFORGE on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and at Post Finale Pod on Instagram. Be sure follow us, talk about us on social media. That helps us out a lot as well. But just thank you so much for listening to this episode. And I say, let's get back into it, But thank you so much for listening to this episode. And before we jump back into talking about The Matrix, I just got one other housekeeping thing. If you are all listening to this and would like to come see me as Oliver in a production of Oliver in Seattle, that is happening March 21st through April 5th. The link to tickets and more information for that is down in the description. It's a really fun production, and we're having a lot of fun with it. So be sure, come check that out if you're in the Seattle area, March 21st through April 5th. And if you are coming to the show, let me know, and I would love to meet up afterwards. But thank you so much for listening to this episode, and let's get back into talking about The Matrix. We're back, and Tank has the biggest smile on his face when he hears Morpheus's voice. It's so sweet. It's so loving. Oh my god, I love Tank. He's so pure. Please never hurt my sweet, sweet child. He's already been hurt once and almost killed. If he dies in 2 or 3, I'm gonna be real sad. If Neo, Morpheus, or Trinity dies, yeah. I would be baffled if Neo dies, but like, if one of them dies, sure, whatever. Do not touch my sweet boy Tank. He is pure and lovable.
So I guess that answered my question. Who would you play?
Tank.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
I just, something about his character is just so intriguing to me. Like, just coming in as a character as well, like as an actor, I think I would have a really fun time of like, why as a human would I then be wanting to put myself in this type of danger?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is, and finding out those reasons, right? Like, I don't have to fight against this. Like, I could live in Zion as a human, as Tank. Like, he could have lived in Zion his whole life and worked there, but he chose to go into this danger. So it's like, all right, what is it about this? Like, why does he feel so strongly about this and everything like that?
I
right? What's his backstory?
I
And like
mean,
I get some of it. Some of it comes through in the film. Don't get
yeah,
me wrong
yeah, it
here,
does. It does.
right? And like some of it makes complete sense of like, yeah, like you're in a war, you grow up and you're just like, hey, I want to fight in this
Mhm.
war. Like I believe that. Like all of that completely makes sense. But I think that as an actor, there's a lot that you can work more deeply on and unpack that maybe the audiences never see,
Right.
but just like work that we do that the audience doesn't see. And I think that work with Tank would be really fun. I just don't feel like I'm a Morpheus or a Neo. That
Mhm.
doesn't fit my vibe as much. The other character that I would want to play is probably Cypher,
Right.
because I love playing a good villain.
Right. Okay. So my thing is too. This is why I love Tank in this movie, and rewatching it, kind of like, huh. I know because the other two films, you do eventually do see Zion. Spoiler alert.
I figured we will eventually.
Yes.
When Tank said the line earlier, if you're lucky enough, maybe one day you'll see it, or
Yes.
something along those lines.
So, but on top of that, it gives that hope, right? Where it's like Neo brought up the question, because you kind of notice it when you first see him in the first time in the film, where it's all like he's wondering it, why don't I have any, why doesn't he have holes and I have holes, around me to plug in. And he
Mm-hmm.
explains it really well that, hey, we are actually thriving to live, and this is what we're all fighting for. Like, we all want to be free from the Matrix or whatever the machines. I guess the premise of the movie is that the machines are using them as batteries, right, to
Yeah.
power whatever they're powering. But that's what I love about that. That's what I love about Tank's character, though, because it gives a character that we all can relate to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it also has the Star Wars effect where it's like, yeah, I want to fight with the Resistance, against the Empire. I'm a rebel. But yes, like, I don't feel like I could be a Neo or a Morpheus or a Trinity. Like, I feel like Tank is one of the characters I do relate to the most, because it's like, yeah, like, I'm a support character. I help everyone else get to what they're doing.
Yeah, and like honestly, sometimes those characters significantly more fun to play.
Oh yeah, Tank had a bigger impact when I rewatched this movie. Like, he had a big impact. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize how big Tank's impact was. Because yeah, he
Also,
shows a side of Zion that we don't see in the movie.
yeah, I also would just like to say that Marcus Chong as Tank did an incredible job just having the biggest smile.
Oh yeah.
He has such a beautiful smile.
Mm-hmm.
Now, meanwhile, Smith, pissed. Other suits reveal that the trace was complete. They have the location. The Sentinels are standing by. And I was like, what are the Sentinels? And then I was like, they're probably killing machines. I'm going to be really pissed off if they are search and destroy machines, because that is two things, not one. Anyone that's confused on why I'm mad, go listen to one of the previous episodes. I think it was episode 3 where I go on an entire rant about this. Anyway, the suits say that the order to strike. Anyway, the suit says order the strike and then walks away, but Smith says that they aren't out yet. The three of our heroes make it to the exit, but there is a man there in the corner and he sees Morpheus disappear through the phone booth. Smith seems to realize this, and I was like, Smith is going to morph into this guy. This is where Trinity dies. Spoiler alert, I'm wrong. Trinity walks in. Trinity wants to tell Neo something, but is afraid of what it could mean if she does. And I was like, we're never going to find out. And then the phone rings. And then Trinity tells him that everything the Oracle has told her has come true. And I was like, well, I guess we are going to find out. And then she goes, everything but this. And my brain is like, bitch, talk faster. And then the other part of my brain is, as an actor, being like, okay, I know that as an audience member, I want her to talk faster, but also as an actor, she delivered that
Oh
beautifully.
yeah, yeah.
Like, it was so well delivered,
Yes.
perfectly in character. Like, she did incredible work. But me as a watcher was like, bitch, talk faster.
Oh yeah, yeah. I rewatching this scene, it had me being like, wow, the timing is terrible. like why do this while the phone's ringing? Like do this on the ship when you can actually talk.
Yeah. Right? I don't know. Just as Trinity grabs the phone, she spots Smith. Smith shoots the phone. Trinity is fine on the ship, but the phone is destroyed. Trinity tells Tank to send her back, but he can't. don't really know why he can't. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but sure, whatever. We need our Neo versus Smith moment. Trinity can't go back. Trinity tells Neo to run. Obviously, Neo can't hear any of them. Neo turns to face Anderson, and Morpheus says that he is beginning to believe. And we get the face-off. Now, Neo draws first, and they run at each other, they grab at each other, they spin, they both have a gun at each other's head. Both are out of bullets. So we don't have unlimited bullets.
I was waiting for this.
Apparently, we don't have unlimited bullets. We had unlimited bullets earlier. Why don't we have them now?
To be fair, they're handguns. They're not machine guns.
She killed the guy with a handgun. Well, it was a hand machine gun.
Yes.
But you still don't need 15 bullets for something that's 10 feet away. It's just a waste of bullets. This annoys me.
Yes, I could tell. I'm gonna let you have it, bro. Because the only reason you magically ended up with a person who actually shoots weapons and understands it. Yeah, bullets are expensive.
They are. I don't know how expensive, but I understand that they're expensive.
Yeah, they're pretty pricey.
I don't actually know how much anything in the world of guns cost. I just understand that they're expensive.
Oh no. Okay, so here's a period in my life. My dad does the reloads. So reloads are, for our viewers who don't know, is that he'll make the bullets. He gets the shell, he gets the primer, and he has a little machine and it puts it together. Granted, I used to do it with him when I lived with him. It was fun. It was cool because it was literally a mind-numbing task that you can have a video on and just sit there making bullets. Took forever to make like a good 100, but that's why I feel your pain. And yeah, why waste 15 bullets on one person? Right? That's why I feel your pain. I understand your pain, so I get it.
Thank you. Now, Neo does like 6 rotations to get up because he's extra. Smith stands. They ditch the guns. Smith cracks his neck. Neo charges. And they're fighting hand-to-hand, hand-to-foot combat. Smith breaks a column. Neo lands a couple hits. And then Smith, somewhere in this fight, just goes, "I'm going to enjoy watching you die, Mr. Anderson." Now, Neo gets his butt kicked and body thrown into a wall. Now, just as good as an old fight, but they're both landing hits on each other. Seems like a very fun fight scene to learn. I would have loved to learn this fight scene. This just seems like a very fun fight scene to learn. I love doing stage combat. I love doing fight scenes. I love getting to play with that. Like, it's so much fun, and I absolutely love doing that type of stuff.
Okay, good. I don't mean to go on a tangent here.
No, by all means.
Okay, so when you're doing this choreograph, how often do you practice it?
Every day.
And does it take a physical toll? Like, do you actually end up with bruises? Does it actually hurt?
Ideally, no. Because ideally, in stage combat at least, right? And not necessarily film. I haven't gotten the opportunity to do fight choreo on film. I'm hoping that gets to happen one day. I have not been given this opportunity yet. But in stage combat, a general rule of stage combat is everything looks like it hits, but nothing actually touches. Very rarely do you have contact hits. So actually in Oliver, which is coming up we open next week. We open next week. As of recording this, as of this coming out, we're open. Come check us out. Great. But in Oliver, I do a lot of the fight stuff, and in that, a good chunk of it, like, there is a lot of contact, right? Like, there is still contact when you're getting dragged, when you're getting your shirt grabbed, things like that. There's a contact to the back of my head. There's a contact to my gut. There is contact, but it's all safe, right? But then there's also a lot of things that aren't contact. So there's like head slap, like head bonks, and spins, and like choking, where it's like it looks like the person's hands are actually on the person choking them, or it looks like the person's head is actually getting hit, but nothing is actually making contact. Like, the choking, the person's hands are like might be underneath, and it varies based on how you are doing your stage combat, the space that you are in, how you need to mask what is going on. Right. So the different safety measures might be changing, but the safety measures are always in play that like, hey, nothing ever happens and you're never actually making contact most of the time. This is one of the productions where like I'm starting to make contact.
Right.
So it's a bit different because of the space and what we're able to
Exactly. So is it more of just you just trust who you're doing your choreography with?
So like you do it, you talk through it, you make sure that everything feels comfortable. And then like in those moments where it's like, hey, like we got contact, it's like, yeah, we walk through it before we actually like run it. We do it 3 times. So the first time we talk through it, and this is what we call a fight call,
Mhm.
right? So the first time, and this is normally how I run a fight call, everyone does it slightly differently,
Right,
but the way
right,
that
right.
I normally do them and run them is the first time you do it, the first time you're going through it in the day, you're talking through every beat. So you'll be like, I turn away. You grab me. You spin me around. You grab my shirt. I go up. I punch you. You slap me. Like whatever the situation is, right? And then the second time you'll do it at 50% speed. So you won't talk through it, but you're not going full speed yet. And then the third time we do it, you do it at show speed and you go
Okay.
full out. So that way everyone is like, hey, we're taking steps. We are getting to show speed. The first time we do it, it's a new day. Things might have changed. Things might be different in that actor's body on that day, right? Like, hey, earlier today I was lifting the box and my shoulder's now messed up. So like we can't do this move anymore because it's gonna hurt my shoulder. All right, let's retcon this a little bit. So like things like that. So that's normally how I come across
right.
stage combat.
And then you pretty much try to do the safety measure so you can do it multiple shows.
Exactly. Yeah, because like, you know, we in theater at least, it's very rare that you only have one show.
Right.
And so you normally have at least 3-4 shows if you're doing it. Like this production that I have, we have a 3-week run. So it's like, you know, we need to be able to do it every show consistently. And so, but like we make sure that those safety measures are there because we're like, yeah, we don't need anyone to get hurt. We need everyone to still be able to do the show, but we want the show to look really good.
Right. So, you want it believable, like almost like wrestling, but way better.
Yeah, there's more of a story.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's more of a story.
Sorry about the tangent. I was completely curious about that. I've always wondered that in especially in a theater setting because I know you guys do multiple shows. I'm like, have you ever hurt yourself? Like
I have hurt myself before. And it has happened. I mean, thankfully, the hurting myself that I have done has not been that bad. It's usually like a scrape or like a carpet burn or something. Because I'll try something and then be like, that didn't work. So like we had one in Oliver where they were like, hey, do it this way. And then I did the roll and I did the spin and then I slammed my arm into a bench. And so like it hurt, but I wasn't like, I didn't have like a massive bruise or anything. It just stung of like, I just slammed my arm into a bench. So, like that wasn't supposed to happen. Let's retcon this and figure out how we don't slam my arm into a bench.
Right.
So like it does happen, but like thankfully, like I wasn't moving super fast. Like I was still moving slow, but like it does happen.
Right.
Like, stings happen and like things happen. Like we had one where like you fall, right? And like when you have a fall, you get tripped up, you trip over your own shoe and you fall in a weird way. And then it feels weird, right? And then it's like, ooh, I need to take a breather. Cause like that fall just took a chunk out of me. Or like, you know, you're falling, you're supposed to hit your head on the ground 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, you do it right. But there's that chance where humans, that error might happen where that one time it accidentally gets hit, right? Like there was one show where I accidentally got punched. And we didn't mean for it to happen, but my spacing got slightly off. So that person did everything right. My spacing got off and I got caught and I got punched in the chest.
Right.
Thankfully it was in the chest and I was okay. And it wasn't the worst thing in the world. I got that wind knocked out of me because the guy was bigger than me. But like, I was still able to continue and then like just had to breathe off stage for a minute.
Right.
But like it happens. Mistakes happen. But we try to keep all those safety measures into place to where these mistakes are as limited as possible.
Right. Interesting.
And ideally, none of these mistakes ever happen.
Right. But there's that.
We're human.
Right.
It's that human element of things can go wrong.
Yeah. It's that 9 out of 10 times where it's like, yeah, that 10th time it's gonna get you.
Yeah, like, and that's just it.
It happens.
Yeah, I love stage combat. I love doing that stuff. I love learning about it. I love participating in it. It's so much fun. Anyway, we got a film to finish up
Right.
here. So Neo gets tossed on the floor. He spits up blood in both realities. Trinity is keeping an eye on his body and comments that Smith is killing him. Don't know where Morpheus and Tank are. And then I realize, Morpheus and Tank are dealing with the whole other part of everything is happening. Cool. So it's okay. I've seen the future. He's going to live. Also, it would be a wild ending if he doesn't live.
Right.
Now, Neo means business. He gave the finger wag. And by the finger wag, for anyone that is watching on YouTube, I'm talking about this one, which is the come here motion. If anyone is listening on audio only, I hope you understood what I meant by the come here motion. Anyway, Neo proceeds to beat up Smith. He does like a cool fist got caught, but extends the finger to hit the guy in the throat move. I just thought it was a really cool move, and I wanted to put that in there because, like, ooh, fun. Then Smith slams Neo into a wall, hyperspeed punches him in the gut. The body of Neo not doing well on this ship. Grabs him, punches him hard into the booth. And we hear a train coming. Smith has an idea. He drags Neo and tosses him onto the tracks. He then jumps down and puts Neo in a chokehold, asks if he hears the sound. That is the sound of inevitability, the sound of your death. And then Neo, in a badass hero moment, just goes, "My name is Neo," because he called him Mr. Anderson, and he was upset about this. Neo jumps and slams Smith into the ceiling. They both fall onto the ground, but Neo jumps out just as the train comes by, and the train hits Smith. Neo is safe. Smith ain't dead, but like he's not around anymore for a little bit. Neo gets out of the station and, he's going to get out of the station. And then the train screeches to a halt. Smith steps out. Neo finally does the smart thing and runs. It's a whole lot. There's a whole lot going on. Crazy. Like I said, this is action.
The big thing about the movie is that, or about the scene, is that you realize that Neo, an agent can actually be taken down. Granted, it was by a train and it was by kind of a little bit of luck. But you start seeing the glimpses, which is great.
But you saw an agent get taken down when Neo was shooting with the Gatling gun as well.
Oh, yeah.
You see those agents get taken down. Like, I've seen an agent get taken down, but then just morph into somebody else, right? So, like, we've seen agents now in this last act of the movie get taken down and then having to morph into a new person. So, yeah. I mean, it is really cool. What I'm liking, and I was going to say this now, but what I really like is how when they are doing these, like, hyperspeed, hyper motion things, it works seamlessly in the fight choreo. It makes sense. It never feels like I'm taken out of the fight choreo. So I just want to give props to all the people that worked on the fight choreography for this film. It is incredibly well done. You guys did a very, very good job. I know that this praise is coming from me 26 years later, but like, look, hearing your praises are always a good thing.
Right.
But like really, really well done. They worked seamlessly. Everything where you were using the matrix and using the lack of physics worked. So like incredibly, incredibly well done to anyone who worked on this as a choreographer, as anyone who worked on this as a stand-in double, as anyone who worked on this just in general in any way, shape, or form. I just want to say like all the fighting in this entire movie is very, very well done. Which I don't say about all the action movies that I do.
I do,
but I feel that way about this one.
Like I said, this movie had me completely involved from the start.
Yeah.
Especially this fight scene, like I couldn't not look away. Especially like even when they did the cut to Trinity taking care of Neo's body. My favorite part though is when he's all like, "Mr. Anderson, and the train is coming." He's like, "That's your sound of your demise," and it's like, "Oh, is he gonna make it? Is he not?" And then him revelation where it's like, "I'm not part of your world anymore. I'm Neo," which is like perfect. And that's where it ends. Like that's where the fight scene ends. Like there's no like, we're going to drag this out for another 5 minutes and still keep fighting. No, it just ends where Neo is like, I am Neo now. And I love that whole scene where he narrowly escapes the train. He's sitting on the edge and he's trying to catch his balance. And then you have that small little, I won. And then it's like, oh crap, I gotta go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, meanwhile, Tank has lost signal with Neo. And then the proximity warning arrives. Right. The Sentinel strike. I forgot that was the thing that was happening because Smith never officially ordered it.
It's just mentioned.
So, it was just mentioned. They have 5 to 6 minutes before the Sentinels arrive. Morpheus tells them to prep the EMT. They can't use it until he's out. Morpheus knows this, but is confident that Neo will make it. It'll be last minute. It has to be. Otherwise, it isn't,
Dramatic.
Neo is on the run. He steals a guy's phone to call a tank. That guy then turns into Smith, and I love the way that Neo addresses Tank. Everybody else calls him Operator, and then Neo goes, "Mr. Wizard, get me the hell out of here."
I love that part too, because normally he's like Operator, and he's like, "Nah, Mr. Wizard, get the heck out of here. I've been here for too long, bro." Like
Mr. Wizard, help!
Yeah.
Get me out of here. Tank gives him a place, and Neo is going directly to it, but oh look, it's now a massive market, and he's like, well, shit. Now, all three suits are there, morphing into different people. Neo runs into a dead end. He smashes through a door. He runs up some stairs. He's going on. He's gonna make a jump, and what I'm thinking here is that he's gonna finally do this jump across buildings, and he's gonna be successful this time. It doesn't happen. I was sad. I wanted him to make the jump across the building, but no. Neo runs through the building and disrupts some old ladies who then turn into agents. Poor old ladies. And then a red alert pops up. And I was like, oh, here they come. And then, they look like little octopus machines. I'm talking about the Sentinels.
Right.
By the way, in this moment. The Sentinels start attacking. Morpheus preps the EMT. Neo climbs up a fire escape, and he needs to make it to room 303, and then he ditches his phone. I feel like ditching the phone, not a good idea here, but whatever. Who am I to say? Again, as Adam said in episode 1, this is our Bluetooth technology, very helpful. Meanwhile, the Sentinels have breached the hole. Neo jumps into room 303, but oh no, it's Smith, and he gets shot. Didn't see that one coming.
I love this scene.
Neo's bleeding, but he's okay. He's fine. And then Smith shoots him again. This one causes a recoil. Smith then unloads all the bullets in the gun, and Neo seemingly collapses, and the line goes flat. The suits check him, confirm that he is gone. Trinity whispers and tells Neo that she isn't afraid anymore. The Oracle told her that she'd fall in love, and the man that she'd fall in love with would be the one. She loves Neo, so he can't be dead. And then she kisses him. And I was pissed, because are you telling me that the kiss brings him back to life? Are you fucking kidding me? Love is the answer? Bullshit. I'm so sorry. You're going to have to bleep out a lot of that. But are you kidding me?
Okay. I love this scene for, he's going to make it. He doesn't make it.
I love that.
Right? Like, holy crap, our main character just got shot and is confirmed dead, right? Love it.
Love it.
To be honest,
don't love bringing him back.
Right. To be honest, rewatching it, I totally forgot about the scene. I was like, holy crap, I forgot. He gets shot. Our antagonist is technically dead right. Our protagonist is technically dead right now. Now, I do find the weird part, what brings him back to life is that she tells him, oh, everything that Oracle said is right. I'm in love with you, so you have to be the one now. That's what gets him to be the one, though, which is the weirdest thing about this whole movie and rewatching this movie. And I totally feel you.
I don't like it.
Yeah, because it should be a realization on Neo's part, but it's someone else realizing, oh, I'm in love with you. And I'm like, Morpheus believed you knew this whole time, but it takes a woman to do it.
Yeah, right? I'm like, does Morpheus mean nothing to you?
Yeah. So I do understand.
Yeah, it's just I wish that maybe this was happening simultaneously.
Right.
Right?
It kind of plays out in his head.
Or it plays out in his head as he's going of he loves her or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how this plays out, right? I don't have an accurate retcon for this. And I'm not claiming that I do. I'm just upset that this is what brings him back.
Mm-hmm.
Morpheus believed in you the entire time, but that wasn't good enough. A girl tells you that she's in love with you, and now you are back from the dead?
Right. I totally understand.
Yeah.
Normally I disagree with you with certain stuff, but this one, yeah, like rewatching it,
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like this is a weird cop out. Like I feel,
I just felt like it was a cop out.
yeah.
I don't have an answer. I'm not claiming to have an answer. Maybe if you ask me in a month or two, I might have an answer. I currently don't have an answer, but I just felt like it was a cop out.
Okay,
So
now,
yeah.
The only argument I have is for what happens. I believe it's in the second one. I think it's the second one.
Okay.
The climax of the second one. Spoiler alert for anyone. I'm gonna give someone a couple seconds.
Hold on.
Oh,
You can say it. I
I
can't hear you now.
All right, the roles are flipped in the second one, and that's what happens, which is cool to see.
Wave when I'm allowed to come back.
But as a standalone in this movie, it makes no sense.
All right, I'm back.
All right, cool. Watch the other two. Watch the other two now.
Fair. Look, you can't tell me. But I appreciate you wanting to let the listeners know and give that caveat for the listeners. So like completely fair. Yeah, for anyone listening on audio, I just took off my headphones and like turned it down volume-wise.
Yeah.
That's why I told him to wave so that I knew when I was safe to come back.
Yes.
To avoid the spoilers, because sometimes we want to, if we have an explanation, we want to let the listeners know.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So anyway, he's back now. Okay, he gets up. 2 bullets, and he gets up. They shoot bullets at him, and he slows the bullets down like he's Quicksilver. But then he like just stops them all. He grabs one, and then all the bullets fall on the floor. And then in big bold letters, I wrote, "He is the one." Not that this was hard to guess. Now Neo now sees everything as the Matrix, which is really cool. Really, really well done in their editing. Incredibly cool shot that you see right there. Smith rushes him, and Neo puts in 0 effort, while Smith puts in all the effort. Neo throws him down the hall. Neo advances and jumps through Smith's body, and then Smith blows up, and Neo is back. Seemingly, Smith is destroyed. I'm going to assume Smith is destroyed, because the other 2 agents run away. So my assumption here is that Smith is destroyed. If Smith magically comes back in the second one, I will understand why, because we have set up that the agents are very difficult to kill and that they can morph into another body. It seemingly feels like Smith is destroyed because he got destroyed from within and not from an exterior. It felt like Neo went inside and broke his mainframe inside, whatever was going on. So I am assuming, and I'm moving on the fact that Smith is no longer part of this franchise. I will not be surprised if Smith comes back, because they have done a very good job of setting up where the agents can come back from this. Neo, on the other hand, still dead without the power of love. Anyway, the Sentinels have broken through, and they are about to attack Neo's body, but Morpheus hits the EMT, destroying all the electromagnetic currents. But this is okay, because Neo has made it just back in time. He's made it back, and now Neo and Trinity get to share a kiss. Whoop-de-doo. I don't know. This kiss would have felt more powerful if Neo wasn't saved by the stupidity of the power of love. Again, I don't like this as their choice of how they brought him back. I think it still could have worked if he wasn't completely dead.
Yeah, like if they didn't check him.
But they checked him, said that he's gone, and the line on the ship went flat. So I think like I still would have been more okay with this if it was like he had a very slight heartbeat left.
Right.
There was
I agree with that.
But there were 2 different motions of saying that he is gone, which is why I don't like the love brings him back to life, because that's not how death works.
Right.
So that's my bigger gripe here, is that like they said that he's gone and then love brings him back. If there was still a little bit of a heartbeat left and love, like, there was a little bit of a heartbeat, they go to check, and then it's like, he's not gone yet. And then it's like Smith goes to shoot him one last time, and then he grabs the gun last minute. Maybe that's how you retcon it, right? I don't know. But like something like that where he isn't completely gone, and then brought back to life.
Again,
this worked a little better.
This movie has a very 2000s feel where, they kind of got they always have to have a love interest, and they always have to, kind of fight that back and forth. And Terminator feels the same way.
It does. Yeah.
So T2 kind of goes away from that because it shows more of the mother son kind of
Oh, yeah.
love, right? So, but the big thing is too, like, this scene is it's well done. It's really well done. You really think
It's
he's gonna make it, and he's supposed to escape because he's our protagonist, and him getting shot is amazing.
it's an look. My only gripe about the scene is
Is
him
coming back to
coming
life.
back to life.
That's my
Other than that,
yeah.
it's an incredible scene.
Yes. Now
Incredible
I
scene.
do
Well
have to
done by all the actors.
right. I do have to ask you this though. Would you feel if the movie ended right there?
I wouldn't have been upset.
Right. Now, I
wouldn't have been upset.
always like the first one because the first one always feels like it can be its standalone movie. Like we didn't need the other
Mhm.
two, which is granted.
Right.
Like the other two, especially after the second one, you're like, what's really gonna happen next, right?
The Oracle's gonna be the big bad. I already know.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah,
fine.
right. So that's the biggest one. Like, oh, the holy crap moment, right? But this one, it's like he realizes he's the one, and he saves the world technically because Agent
And I like how we end this
yeah,
one. And it is actually a beautiful ending. And I think, like we were saying, the open ending, I think, works
yeah,
for this film. Because we hear a phone ring and we hear Neo's voice. And this is what he says. And I'm just going to quote this verbatim. I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you, a world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries, a world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you. And then we see Neo hang up the phone, step out of the phone booth, put on his iconic Neo glasses that I have seen in the world of, the internet. And then he looks up to the sky and he flies. That's a new power. Dope way to end the film. I love it. I love that the ending of the film is open ended. If they had it planned as a trilogy and they got that greenlit, it's there. If there isn't, it's a very solid end to a standalone movie of, hey, you know that he's not going to give up, but we don't necessarily know what the rest of his adventures are going to be.
right,
Right? And that's okay. But we understand that Neo has now accepted his role of being the one. He is out. He's going to take down the Matrix.
right.
That is his goal.
Which
And I
is
love that.
I
And
mean,
I loved this movie. It was great. Fantastic ending there.
yes. I even rewatching it. Like I said, I was on the edge of my seat like the whole way through, especially the last like 30 minutes or so. I couldn't stop watching it.
Oh, yeah. It was incredible.
Yes.
Now, as always, before we finish up the application and the episode, not the application, I don't know what I'm talking about. Computer terms. So that's what it is. Yeah. I just wanted to go through and chat about the ratings and everything and how it did. So this movie on IMDb is ranked an 8.7 out of 10. It is number 16 on the IMDb top 250 list, which is incredible.
Right.
And at the Academy Awards in the USA, it won Best Film Editing. It won Best Sound. So Best Film Editing for Zach Stonberg. Best Sound for John T. Wrights, George Rudloff, David E. Campbell, and David Lee. It won the Oscar for Best Effects and Sound Effects Editing for Dane Davis. It won Best Effects and Visual Effects with John Gaeta, Janet Sirs, Steve Courtley, and John Tum. I apologize if I have butchered anyone's name. I just want to try to give you credit. I do apologize if I'm butchering names. And then it was also nominated for, this is a fun one. I don't know what this is, but Oscar's cheer moment was Neo's bullet dodging backbend. That was just a fun one that was
Yeah,
tossed in
I
there.
I wish I could give you like a theater experience because I can't imagine watching that in theaters for like the first
Oh,
time
yeah,
and
I
seeing
would love
that.
it. I would love it. If I ever hear about like, hey, The Matrix is going to be shown in theaters again, like I would probably go watch
Right.
this in theaters, like go enjoy it. Now over at the BAFTAs, it was nominated for a bunch of stuff, didn't win. It was nominated for best cinematography, nominated for best production design, and nominated for best editing. It did win best sound, so David Lee, John Wrights, Gregor Udloff, David E. Kimball, and Dane A. Davis on that, and then it did win best achievement in it did win Best Achievement in Special Visual Effects at the BAFTAs as well in 2000. John Gaeta, Steve Courtley, Janek Sirs, and John Tum won that one as well. Overall, it got 42 wins across 52 nominations.
Agreed with. This is, I mean, rewatching it. I was so excited when
That
you told
might
me.
also be, I've just clocked that I've been doing this podcast for 2 years, and I just clocked that I might be wrong on the way that I'm reading IMDb, and it might be 42 wins and another. Cool. So yeah, The Matrix on Rotten Tomatoes, tomato meter is 83%, popcorn meter is 85%. How would you rank this film? What would you give it rating wise if we're going on a scale of 1 to 10?
This film is very rough for me. As a kid, if it was a standalone, 10 out of 10, like a 9, a 10, like roughly around there.
Yeah.
But because it fits in a trilogy, and granted, the trilogy does kind of fall a little flat compared to the first one.
I've
I'll
heard
give
the
it.
first two were really good. The
Yes.
third one,
The wrap up is really bad.
yeah, that's what I've heard. But
Yeah.
I have heard that it's not terrible. I've
No,
just
no, no, no.
heard that people wish that it was a little more, but they are still happy with it. Like it's still a
Yes.
trilogy that people come back to. I don't know what happens in the third one, but I just know that something happens that that audience wasn't thrilled about.
Yeah. So
That's my understanding of it.
okay. I can make it kind of vague so it's not spoiling anything for you.
Fair.
In the second one, big cliffhanger, so understandable, which is how it's supposed to set up a trilogy. The third one, when you find out who the real big bad is, in your eyes, it's the Oracle. So let's say I can use that. So
what do you mean when I find out? I know who it is. It's the Oracle.
Right. So big bad, the Oracle is defeated. I'm going on your terms. Oracle is defeated, right? Because that's what happens at the end of any movie. The ending kind of leaves you being like, is there another one? Is there gonna do more?
Okay, so the third one is also slightly open-ended.
Yes,
and
it
the
doesn't.
Audience just wanted a more definitive ending.
Yes,
Okay.
which is I agree with. But for me as a standalone, I kind of wish it was a standalone nowadays. Like, granted, back then, oh my god, we get more Matrix. Like, we get to know more that happens. Like this and that, and then it became like this big thing. Like games were made and like sideshows were made and stuff like that. Like it wasn't shown on TV, but like the straight DVD releases where it's like, oh, here's more lore for you, and it's like that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
but I as a standalone, like 10, 9, but as a now looking it back, I give it an 8 because I know the ending of the whole trilogy, and it's like it leaves you wanting a lot more. And granted that
wanting more, I really want to see it. I'd give this probably an 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's a 9 for me because I have issues with some of the things.
Yeah.
And so it's not quite a 9 or a 10, but it was very enjoyable. This is one of the movies that I feel like it's not that long. It's only 2 hours and 15 minutes. And it's like
it's not
10 minutes of credits almost. So it's in reality just over 2 hours long, like barely. And so it is a movie that I 100% would probably go back and watch again.
Oh, yeah.
This is one where I don't always say that for movies that I do on this show, that it's a movie that I would go back and watch again. This is a movie that I can see myself, maybe not right away, But like
Right.
I could see myself going back and watching again. Or if I'm going in and I'm doing the third Matrix movie on this show, whenever I end up doing it, I might go back and watch the first one and the second one, just be like, hey, like let's get a brief refresher
Yeah.
of this. But yeah, I really enjoyed this film. I probably give it about an 8.5. Ant, thank you so much for joining on this episode. Always a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for all the work you do on the show. Is there anything you want to promote to the people?
As of right now, no, I'm kind of in a weird space of working and editing for you guys.
That's fair.
But I mean, I'll give us a shameless plug. I mean, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Like, watch Co-op Forge, help the Patreon. I know we're working hard to make the Patreon a better place.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more to come. I know you and Stephan have been talking to see what we can get the going Patreon going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So
We're figuring that out, and we are revamping that Patreon. So be sure to go check that out. We're trying to make it more affordable for everyone and better incentives for everybody. We just
yes,
want this to be a lovely time for you all, where you feel like you can support the show if you would like to in a monetary way. It is by no means a mandatory thing. By all means, we will still make this show free for everyone to
yes.
listen to. And just thank you so much for listening. And
Mhm.
Ant, thank you so much for joining. Listeners, until I catch y'all next week when we're going to be reviewing a movie, I'll catch y'all later. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Post Finale. Post Finale is created and hosted by me, Ankit Madhira. It is produced by Ankit Madhira and Stephen Nieman. The music is by Ankit Madhira and Megan Hutchison. The art is by Jarid Rother, and our editor is Ant Servellon. If you like the show, please follow us on social media at Co-op Forge, CO_OPFORGE on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook to keep up to date on everything that's happening with the podcast. And you can also follow at Post Finale Pod on Instagram if you just want updates for this show. Talk about us on social media. It really does help us out a lot. And thank you to anyone who has done this in the past or who will do this in the future. If you want to support in a monetary way and get access to some bonus content, you can do so by heading over to patreon.com/coopforge. That's patreon.com/CO_OPFORGE. And all the money raised on that Patreon goes directly back into the show to make it a better experience for you, the listeners. We just want to create good content while not being in the red while doing so. And your support means the world to us. If you can support in a non-monetary way, that's great as well. Just tell a friend about the show. Word of mouth is the best way to grow the show, and it really does help us out a lot. Leave a rating or review, subscribe, follow on whatever podcast app you are listening on. If you're listening on our YouTube channel, Co-op Forge, please hit a follow. If you're listening on another app, if you could do us a favor and go hit us follow on our YouTube channel, it would help us out. If we hit 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel, we got a special thing coming out for you all. But until then, thank you all so much for listening to this episode of Post Finale, and be sure to join us next week as we get on to more shenanigans. And until then, I'll catch y'all later.